Hi there everybody, it's Desiree Winans, and today I am doing a foam rolling routine for you. This is something that I teach to my clients pretty frequently. You know, if you've come in and seen me for body work or consultations, I'm going to usually recommend some kind of stretching. And I think a foam roller is a really wonderful way to help to soften tension in the body. It's an inexpensive thing. Usually they're somewhere between $10 and $20 depending on where you buy or how big. You don't have to get one that's this big necessarily. This is 3 foot by 6 inches. They have black ones, they have white ones. I recommend getting the black one because the white one gets dirty and then it doesn't look so great. So they also make little short ones that are 6 inches. I do prefer 6 inches though because I think that gives you enough space to be able to roll properly and get the moves in that you want to get in. So without further ado, I'm going to just get started. So the first thing that I do when I get on my foam roller is I roll my thoracic spine. So you're going to start at the very bottom of your rib cage where those floating ribs are, your kidneys. You might know where your kidneys are there. You don't want to foam roll your low back. There's a lot of information out there about foam rolling your low back, and I don't recommend it because I feel like it's really intense for a lot of people, and a lot of people have lower back problems. So I start right on that lowest part of the rib cage, so you've got all that rib cage to support your body weight. And then you're going to go back and really support the neck. I like to actually put one hand over the other and put it right on the nape of the head. That's where the hairline begins. There's a little bony shelf there. That's called the occipital bone. It's basically a bony handle. That's how they refer to it in craniosacral therapy. You're going to grab a hold of that bony handle, leaning back, pushing your weight into your heels, and then rocking your hips and your butt off the ground. So right away, this could be, fairly intense for some people. You're going to take it slow, and you're going to roll up over the scapula or shoulder blades, right about to the top of that shoulder blade, and then you're going to come back down. So you're not going to foam roll your neck, and you're not going to foam roll your lower back. Those are basically like the weak points of your spine, and putting all of your body weight into them can be problematic for a lot of people, myself included. So I just pretty much avoid those areas. So I'm going to roll, and you might find a sore spot. And right there for me is a sore spot. So I'm just going to kind of lean my head back, rest it on the ground. You don't have to do it this way. This is what I do. You can also just sit there while supporting your neck, because when you're foam rolling, you're kind of spreading that muscle tissue out, which is great, using your body weight to accomplish that. But when you find a sore spot and you kind of wait a little bit and you kind of hang tight with that sore spot for a second and allow it to ease up, you're really using more of a myofascial release technique. So you're adding pressure, you're creating a stretch essentially, and you're holding it for a period of time, maybe a minute, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less. So once you've got your back feeling like you're not feeling as much pain, you're not feeling as many sore spots as you did when you first started, then you can move on to the next move, which is to foam roll your arms. Now for some people, this is going to be too much, and you might have to skip this one and go straight to your legs. For me, being someone that works with their arms and hands a lot, I've found this to be really helpful. When you have pain in your wrists, pain in your hands, elbows, a lot of times it's from a restriction that's stemming further up the river, okay? It could be in the arm, bicep, tricep. It could be in the shoulder. So I'm going to foam roll. Again, I'm going to look for that sore spot. I found one right there. Nice deep breath. You can even reach your other arm up. You can also put less pressure into your arm by supporting your weight, okay? You don't have to put all of your body weight into your arm. You can adjust that based on your own personal sensitivity. When you first start, I'm going to go back and kind of lean back and do my shoulder blade and my arm at the same time. Little sore spot there. I'm going to just support my neck. Deep breath. Beautiful. Okay. So looking for the sore sore spots, finding them, and hanging out. I'm going to do the other arm. This is my more problematic arm. So I'm usually spending a little teeny bit, I hope you guys can see me, more time with my right arm. I go all the way up to the deltoid, that cap sleeve sort of muscle. And again, this might be just like excruciatingly painful and there's no way you can do it, and that's okay. You might want to start with a fascia blaster. That's how I started. We can talk more about that in another video. Alright, looking for sore spots, hanging out, breathing, supporting the neck if you need to. Okay, another maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes could be spent on your arm. And then legs. Here we go. I'm going to put this right across the quadricep, going all the way up onto the pubic bone, hip bones. Just moving really slow. Usually at first I straighten my legs, but then at a certain point I slowly bring a flex in, and that's going to fire different muscles and it's going to feel different. Like, to me this feels more intense. Okay, so again, if there's sore spots, that one's just a tiny bit tender, so I'm going to hang out there for a second. Nice deep breath. Beautiful. And then after 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to switch and you're going to do the really fun stuff, which is really not fun at all. Your IT band and quads. Okay? So, and I'm really pushing into the floor. I don't know if you can see my body fully. I'm going to try to make sure that you can. I'm really pushing into the floor. I've got my top leg. That foot is stable and on the floor flat to help me stabilize and to help me take some of the pressure off of foam rolling. So right there, that's where I'm feeling it. Right on that IT band. So I'm going to hang out. A couple of deep breaths. Really, you shouldn't feel pain over like a 5 on the pain scale. Even that's kind of pushing it. So look for that and make sure to gauge what you're feeling. If you go too far, you're going to be bruised up. It's going to make it harder to do this again anytime soon. You're probably not going to want to do it again anytime soon. The way that you can make this a little bit easier is to really push into the floor and to support yourself so that you're not putting so much weight into that leg. Okay? So I'm going to do just a couple more passes. You can even go up and sit and do the glute. Now this is one that you really could just sit and hang out for a minute. I know you can't see my head. Apologies there. Okay. And then we're going to switch sides. So since most of my issues are right-sided, the right hip, the right quad, the right IT band does tend to be a little bit more sensitive, so I'm going to be mindful of that. Planting my top foot. Okay. And here we go. See, right off the bat, I can tell that muscle is super, super tight. Feels like a piano wire. I'm just going to hold and breathe. Slowly rolling up the hip. And you're going really all the way to the top of the hip. Man, that is just really humming. It is quite sensitive, I would say. It might be a 3 on the pain scale. So I'm just going to hang. So obviously my body's talking to me. This is really sensitive, and so it needs my attention. So this is how I'm going to soften it up. And I might spend, again, anywhere from 3, 5, 6, maybe even more minutes, because this side really does need it. And in fact, in the interest of time, I'm probably going to cut the camera and finish my legs. So what I usually do as my last move to kind of put the cherry on top here is I like to put my legs up the wall. I really hope you guys can see me. Oh yeah, I think so. I think you'll be able to see. So the head can either hang off, and I think that feels really good, so I'm going to do that. Your head can hang off the back of the foam roller, or your head can actually be sitting right on the foam roller, whatever feels best. Arms are out to the side. With this, you're getting an inversion, and you're also getting a heart opener, which is so good for you. Opening up the chest, opening up the lungs, opening up the sternum, getting the lymph moving up in the upper body. Simultaneously, getting stagnant blood out of the legs, up into the body, getting some fresh blood up in there, fresh oxygen in there. And I would lay here 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever amount of time I have. It just depends on the day. And then you very slowly are going to come up out of it. One more little thing you can do if you want to get saucy. You can kind of roll your shoulder a little bit. Make sure to support your head. Roll. Oh, get right in between the spine and the scapula and just give that a little spread. It's really lovely. This is honestly for people with shoulder and neck problems. After you get used to doing it, it's delightful. I hope that you'll try it. Okay, so I'm going to come up, supporting the head, rolling away. I know you probably have questions. Please feel free. Reach out anytime. It's Desiree@modernhippie.org. If you have questions on natural health, on myofascial release, craniosacral therapy, or if you want to schedule, of course, I'm here. Desiree@modernhippie.org. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, morning, wherever, whenever you are. Thank you. Take care. Bye.